Hey guys, injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and today I want to talk to you about why is it important for you to talk to a lawyer right away if you've been involved in a medical mistake case. So if you or a loved one has um, been injured or, God forbid, killed or hurt seriously by a medical mistake, a mistake at a hospital, a mistake by a doctor, a misdiagnosis, treating the wrong part of the body, whatever the mistake it is that the doctor made, um, that's what's termed medical malpractice. And that's a special kind of case. I talk more about it in other videos, but um, doctors have more protection than anybody else. Well, maybe governments, but you or I could get sued much easier than a doctor, because in a medical malpractice case, if you want to sue a doctor or a hospital, you need to get a report before you file a lawsuit. You need to get all the medical records. You need to have a doctor in the same specialty review what happened and write a report saying it's malpractice. And as you can imagine, it's often difficult to get a doctor to say something against another doctor. So we usually need a very, very clear case of negligence or big mistake. And because medical malpractice cases are so expensive, because we have to have multiple experts in those cases, we need an injury or an outcome that's really bad. So I do get a lot of calls from people all the time who call me and they narrowly averted a really bad thing, like amputation of the wrong leg, or they got really sick and could have died, but they made a full recovery. Well, we need a big enough injury in a medical malpractice case to offset how much time and money the lawyers have to spend to prove the case, because medical malpractice cases don't often settle. A lot of times they go to trial. So why do you need to talk to a lawyer right away on a medical malpractice case? Well, you've got a pretty good hint based on what we've already talked about. Before we can file a lawsuit, we need to order every medical record. We need to know what your medical outcome is, and then we need to summarize the records, and then send the summary and the medical records to a doctor. And then the doctor charges us thousands of dollars to review those records and give us an opinion, right? So all of that needs to happen before we even know if we have a case that can be won. So as you can imagine, sometimes if a hospital suspects there's been a mistake or there's been a death, what they do is they will often delay sending you the records. So a lot of times it's a fight for me to get the complete set of records, or they'll hold back part of the records and not produce all of them, right? So it does happen that I produce records to a doctor to review for medical malpractice, and then the doctor will tell me, well, where are the anesthesiology records? This is a surgical procedure. They had to give him anesthesia because he couldn't be awake during the surgery, right? So then I have to go back and get the records and fight with them. Like, it can take, a year or longer for me to get all the records, get them summarized, and then have them reviewed by a doctor. Sometimes I have to have the records reviewed by multiple doctors before we get a final opinion. And that's, due to the expense, the complexity, and the steps we need to take before we even can file a lawsuit. You have to talk to a lawyer right away if you or a loved one's been involved in a medical malpractice situation. If you come to a lawyer with 3 months left on the deadline, there is no way a lawyer is going to take the case, because here's the last thing to think about. Many times we don't know the names of all the people we're supposed to be suing. Um, we only discover additional names of people to sue after we do a thorough file review. So if you bring a medical malpractice, medical mistake case to a lawyer with just a couple of months before the deadline, the lawyer doesn't have time to do thorough research, doesn't have time to get a report, and doesn't have time to find out all the people who are or might be responsible. So of any kind of case, I mean, I always tell people, car crash case, fall down case, dog bite, whatever it is, talk to a lawyer right away. As soon as you know you've had an accident, you suspect there's an injury, get a free consultation from a good lawyer. But in a medical malpractice or a nursing home case, you gotta do it right away. You cannot delay. I mean, I know, most of the people who call me are really nice people, and so many people tell me, oh, I didn't want to make a big deal about it. I didn't want there to be a problem, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and I get that. I mean, I understand you don't want to have to hire a lawyer or file a lawsuit or cause a problem for anybody, but you have to protect your rights because insurance companies defend all injury cases, and insurance companies are not nice. They're not like you and me. They are not interested in being fair. They're not reasonable. They care about one thing, collecting premiums and denying claims, and that's it. And that's just the way this works. I mean, literally, I probably talk to at least a dozen people a year with a medical malpractice case, but they wait and they bring it to me so late that I have to tell them I can't help them because I literally cannot get the work done that needs to be done before the deadline. So, something to think about. Um, if you've been involved in an accident or a loved one has or a friend and you want them to get a free consultation or you'd like one, you can call me at 312 500 4500. And that's a 24-hour telephone line. I answer it all the time. And they send me your information and I call you right back. So if I can help you, I'm happy to help you. If you want to consult with another lawyer instead of me, you can do that too. But the main thing is do not delay in a medical malpractice case. Definitely get a free consultation. So, thank you for watching. I hope you are having a nice day. And if I can answer any questions, please let me know and have a great day. Take care.